how long have you been in Hong Kong?
I've been in Hong Kong for 20 years already.
20 years.
Yeah, 21 years.
21
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have always been a professor and teaching in here?
Yes, when I came to Hong Kong first, I was teaching to Japanese kids. And then from the second year, I started to teach Japanese too.
In
Hong Kong
here?
students. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What do you think about Japanese restaurant in Hong Kong? Is it good enough, or is it the quality of food?
Yes, actually, when I came to Hong Kong long time ago, there weren't so many Japanese restaurants, and there were some, but very expensive and not so easily available. But later, many Japanese restaurants appear, and even from Japan, and then also some local kind of Japanese restaurants. So now there's a lot of variety of Japanese restaurants. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. And,
what about? Do you think the quality of food is it good for the expensive restaurant?
Oh yes, if it's expensive, then I expect it should be very good.
What about?
But even for the reasonable ones, some of them really good. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
I see. Actually, do you keep your dining norm in Japan and keep it the same in Hong Kong, like saying itadakimasu?
In restaurants, of course, I don't. But that's the same even in Japan. Even in Japan.
You don't even do that in Japan too.
In a restaurant, I don't think I do. Maybe with friends or family, maybe do. But if I'm alone, then of course I don't.
I see. So
in that sense, it's similar. Yeah.
No change. From your past experience, do you think Hong Kongers accept the dining etiquettes in Hong Kong, in Japan? Like when I make the sound when eating ramen, would they look at you or stare at you with?
Oh, you mean in Hong Kong?
Yeah. Do you think Hong Kong people accept it?
Yes, sometimes, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe like eating noodles, the custom is different in Hong Kong.
Yes,
so maybe if I do the same in Hong Kong, then maybe people will look at me. So I'm trying to avoid that.
Avoid doing that. Because people will look at.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So because you find embarrassing when people look at you, so you avoid doing.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, what about? Do you actually discover any cultural differences between Japan and Hong Kong, like the pace when you eat?
The pace. What I found interesting is like a Yamcha kind of customs, because Yamcha is, the eating is not like the major thing, but it's more like you chat.
You chat. Yes.
And
the
sometimes read newspaper. So that custom we don't. I mean, of course we do similar things, but not like in that kind. There are some places in Hong Kong, right? I mean, if you want to do that, you can find a Yamcha restaurant, but we don't. We have some cafes, for talking, but usually in a restaurant we don't do similar things.
So you focus on food rather than
or
chatting.
meeting. Yeah, that's right.
I see.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it Hong Kong people eat quicker than in Japan, or?
I'm not sure. Maybe for like lunch hour. Well, I mean, basically everybody is busy, so even in Hong Kong or in Japan, so it could be the same, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
May I know which region of Japan you're from?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it's also a fast-paced city.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, usually people are busy. So.
What about the hygienic aspect? Is it Japanese food is cleaner and Hong Kong dirtier?
I'm not saying the food itself, but like the environment.
Yes.
Because sometimes I see in Hong Kong restaurants. No. Within restaurants, or let's say we are eating here, but sometimes the cleaning people just bring those like the buckets and clean things, but that doesn't happen in Japan. So usually we consider, if you do cleaning while you are eating, then it's a bit dirty. So
I see.
so
that's
something
separate
different.
Clean after it.
Yeah, that's right. So, but I don't see the food itself may be the same, but of course unless you eat on the street.
Yes, like the Dai Pai Tong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you avoid going to Dai Pai Tong?
Not really avoiding, but I don't go so often.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Because of the environment or the food
sometimes environment, and maybe because and especially in Hong Kong, like in Mongkok,
Yeah.
the air itself is not very good.
Yes.
So I don't really want to eat outside
I
in that
see.
situation.
So you won't seldom go there,
Yeah.
but at least you have a try before.
Yeah.
I see. What about the service? Like the service in restaurant, is it which one is better?
Yeah, again, it depends. If you are comparing with the local restaurants, then maybe sometimes in Hong Kong the service is quite rough, because I can see, like, you know,
They
the
don't
water
really
they just
care about
put.
you.
Yeah, that's right. So that doesn't probably happen so often in Japan.
I
So
see.
yeah.
So overall, the service in Japan is better.
Yeah. But of course, if you compare with those high class restaurants, then of course,
Yes,
both are the
so,
same,
so generally,
yeah.
Actually, do you find any difficulties to find some kind of special food like sukiyaki in Hong Kong, or other things you eat?
Yeah, as I mentioned first, you know, nowadays there's a lot
Easier.
of Japanese restaurants around, and you know, quite easily I can find what I wanted to eat. So it's much better now.
Much better.
Yeah.
But not in before.
Before it was really difficult. I mean, even like noodles,
Mhm.
there were not so many restaurants around, so I couldn't really eat so often, and
I
it was
see.
also
so
expensive.
will you cook more at home to solve this problem? So when you can't find any, then I'll cook it by myself.
Yeah, actually on weekend, because nowadays you know, those Japanese supermarkets are around and they offer quite reasonable price. So I
Yes.
can just buy something and
Like the
you know,
city
cook at
super?
home.
Yeah.
So like Japanese style
Mm.
cooking. Yeah.
What about now when you can find some good food easier outside? Will you also cook more at home? Do you have a change? So in the past, when it's hard to find, then you cook more at home. What about now?
Well, around the same, but maybe because I now basically eat at home. Right? I mean, every day. But of course, sometimes when I go out, then maybe the choice of Japanese food a bit higher now. But in the past, maybe the you know, the frequency that I go eat out is the same, but at that time, because I didn't have choice, so probably I chose, you know, Chinese restaurants or
I
other
see.
restaurants.
So now you have choice. When you dine out, you choose Japanese food. Then.
Yeah, of course, not always, but you know, more
more
choice.
probably.
That's
You
right,
will
that's right.
choose Japanese food
yeah.
when you dine out.
Yeah.
I see. So is there any behavior of the food culture in Hong Kong that makes you uncomfortable, like when eating animals' organs, like the pig skin?
Oh, you mean those?
Yeah.
But actually, basically, you know, every culture has some particular food. And,
So you
know,
can
even in Japanese food, there are some, you know, very special food like you know, horse sashimi, and you know, people don't understand.
The frog.
Yeah. So I think I mean, I accept. Although some of them I don't eat, but I don't
Like,
really
what about
care
the
so much.
chicken legs or something like that?
I don't eat that, but yeah, I mean, it's okay for others to eat.
So
yeah,
you
but
won't.
simply I don't.
Yeah, you won't look at them when they eat, but you're okay. But you won't eat it yourself.
Yeah, I tried before, but I didn't particularly like it. So yeah.
I see.
Okay.
Is there any behavior that makes you uncomfortable? Like, do you think like walking while eating?
Yeah, maybe. And then also sometimes, as I mentioned, you know, sometimes people are just cleaning around. And then I don't feel so comfortable sometimes. But yes, other things I don't. No, I don't care so much.
Oh, you don't care so
Yeah.
much. Is it okay? Just for the particular thing you can think of is the mopping?
Yeah,
was it
probably
cleaning?
yes.
Oh, I see. So, but if you ever try to accept this behavior, is Hong Kong is like this, you know, in fast-paced city, almost every general and cheaper restaurant are like this.
Yeah, I know. So I'm of course I'm now used to it. So
You're used to
I
it.
don't you know, need to care so much. But at first, in a sense, I was a bit surprised.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
happening.
what is it
And
like
yeah,
that?
That's
Oh,
right,
you.
that's right. But now, okay.
Oh, I see. Do you have? Do you think you ever change yourself a bit to fit in the Hong Kong culture, the Hong Kong food culture?
Food culture. Yeah, maybe. I can't give an example, but I think
You have
I've
changed
done.
yourself, your
Yeah.
attitude, your you know how to. I see.
Yeah.
So, will you have some when you change yourself, will you forget your traditional norms when you back to Japan?
Yeah, I'm trying not to, but I just remember one thing. You know, sometimes on Chinese restaurant, like when you're eating fish or chicken, you put the bones on the table. I don't do that in Japan, but of course in Hong Kong I do. I mean, just like a custom. But when I go back to Japan, I try not to do the same.
Oh, so you want to keep your original
yeah, I mean
self.
In Japan, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you come to Hong Kong, you
because I'm already used to it and everyone is doing so. Yeah, it's okay.
But you will try to keep yourself in Japan. So do you think in generally Japanese emphasize on dining norms? Like you have to say itadakimasu before eating.
Right.
Do you think
manners? Maybe a bit more strict than in Hong Kong. I guess. Yeah. People care a lot of manners. Sometimes like chewing sound doesn't like it, so you have to shut the mouth when you chew. So this kind of manner, I think Japan has more.
Oh yeah. It was stricter.
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
So here's kind of the last questions. Do you think overall you well adapt the food culture in Hong Kong?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because I don't have any difficulties or anything.
To find any
troubles.
You're already get used to
it. And actually, I'm enjoying the food culture in Hong Kong. As I said, there's a lot of varieties, and even in Chinese food, there's a lot of different kinds, and the prices are okay in Hong Kong.
Oh, so the prices are acceptable.
That's right. Yeah.
I see. So thank you very much.
Okay.